G'day everyone. If you're an Australian senior or your mum and dad are getting close to retirement, stick with me for the next few minutes because right now there are hundreds of thousands of pensioners getting less in their fortnightly payment than they're actually entitled to. Not because they've done anything wrong, just because nobody's ever sat them down and explained a handful of rules buried inside the age pension system. So today, I'm going to walk through every rule that could be quietly costing you money, tell you exactly what applies to your situation, and give you a checklist to run through before your next payment lands. Before we dive in, if you find this useful, do me a favor and subscribe. Turn the bell on. These rules are complicated on purpose, and getting them right can mean hundreds of extra dollars a fortnight for life. Right. Let's get into it. Unlike some overseas systems, we don't have a sliding scale here where your birth month shifts your pension age around. In Australia, pension age is fixed at 67, full stop. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, as long as you were born from 1957 onwards. There's no bonus for waiting longer, and there's no early access at a reduced rate. You become eligible the day you turn 67, and that's when you can apply. Now, here's the bit that trips almost everyone up. Your age pension amount isn't decided by one test. There are actually two, the income test and the assets test. And Centrelink pays you whichever one comes out lower. Most people only ever think about their savings and figure that's the whole picture. But if your income spikes even for one fortnight, the income test can knock your payment down, even though your assets haven't moved an inch. So if you're pension age and still doing a bit of work, even casual shifts, this next part could be worth a few hundred extra dollars in your pocket every fortnight. Under the standard income test, a single person can earn up to $218 a fortnight, a couple, $380 combined, before the pension starts tapering off. On top of that, there's the work bonus, which lets you earn another $300 a fortnight from work, completely exempt from the income test. Add that up, and a single pensioner can bring in up to $518 a fortnight from deeming and work combined before their payment is touched at all. And here's the part almost nobody knows about. If you don't use the full $300 in a fortnight, say you only earned $100 from a casual shift, that unused $200 doesn't just vanish. It rolls over into a work bonus balance, and that balance can build up to $11,800. These days, new pensioners even start with a $4,000 opening balance the moment they become eligible, which means a pensioner could go back to work for a stretch, earn several $1,000s, and none of it touches their age pension until that balance is used up. A lot of pensioners turn down shifts because they assume any income cuts their pension dollar for dollar. That one wrong assumption can cost thousands of dollars a year in wages they never actually needed to give up. Now, if you've got savings, term deposits, shares, or super once you're over pension age, Centrelink doesn't actually look at what that money earned you. Instead, it uses something called deeming rates, a fixed, assumed rate of return applied to your financial assets, regardless of what you're really getting in interest or dividends. For a single person, the first $64,200 of financial assets is deemed at a lower rate, and anything above that gets the higher rate. For a couple, that threshold sits at $106,200 combined. So if your money's parked in a low-interest account earning less than the deemed rate, Centrelink still assumes you're earning the deemed amount, and your pension is worked out on that basis. Flip side, if you're getting a great return above the deeming rate, the extra doesn't count against you at all. That's exactly why two pensioners with identical bank balances can end up on different payments. It comes down to how the money's split across accounts and whether every single asset's actually been declared. Your home's exempt from the assets test while you're living in it. That's the good news. The bad news is pretty much everything else counts. Savings, shares, super, investment properties, cars, caravans, even your household contents, valued at what they're worth now, not what you paid for them. The thresholds shift depending on whether you own your home and whether you're single or partnered. Right now, a single homeowner can hold assets up to roughly $321,500 and still get the full pension, tapering to zero around $722,000. Homeowner couples sit higher, combined. Non-homeowners get a noticeably higher allowance since they're missing out on that exempt family home. Here's the trap, though. If you sell your home, to downsize, move into aged care, or move in with family, the sale proceeds stop being exempt and become a counted asset. Plenty of pensioners have sold up, parked the money temporarily while they look around for something new, and watched their pension shrink or stop altogether because that cash was suddenly sitting inside the assets test. There are downsizer contribution rules and exemption periods that can protect some of that money, but only if you know to ask Centrelink about them before you sell, not after. If you're in a couple and only one of you has hit 67, the eligible partner still gets assessed at the couple rate for income and assets, meaning both of your incomes and assets get combined and assessed together. But only the eligible partner actually gets paid at half the couple rate. There's a specific carve-out here that catches a lot of people out, though, in the other direction. If your partner is under age pension age and still working, their super isn't counted as part of your combined assets while it stays untouched in the fund. The moment they withdraw anything from their own super, even a small amount, that withdrawal becomes a counted asset and can affect your payment. Couples in this spot often don't realize it's a routine withdrawal by the younger partner that quietly reduced the older partner's pension. If your income or assets sit just above the cutoff for any age pension at all, don't write yourself off just yet. The Commonwealth Seniors Health Card is available to anyone who's reached age pension age but doesn't qualify for a pension payment. It's income tested, but it's not assets tested. Your house, your savings, your super. None of that counts. Only your assessable income does. The card gets you cheaper prescriptions and a range of concessions on utilities and services, and a surprising number of eligible seniors have simply never applied because they figured a no from the pension meant a no from everything. So here's what I'd suggest doing. Log into your MyGov account linked to Centrelink and check your income and assets test results side by side. Don't just assume the lower figure is the one being applied. If you're working or thinking about picking up a few shifts, ask Centrelink specifically about your work bonus balance before you turn the work down. You might have thousands of dollars of exempt income just sitting there unused. If you're planning to sell your home, get in touch with Centrelink or a free financial information service advisor before you sell, not after, so you know exactly how the sale proceeds will be assessed and for how long. If there's an age gap in your relationship, get clarity on how your partner's super is currently being treated and what happens the second either of you touches it. And if you've been told you don't qualify for anything, check the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card before you rule yourself out completely. It runs on a totally different test. Now, the rates and thresholds I've mentioned reflect current Services Australia settings, and they do get reviewed several times a year, so always double-check the exact current numbers for your situation with Centrelink or on servicesaustralia.gov.au before you make any decisions. None of this is secret, and none of it some illegal loophole. It's all written into the system, exactly the way I've laid it out. But Centrelink isn't going to ring you up and mention that you qualify for the work bonus, or that your Commonwealth Seniors Health Card is sitting there unused, or that selling your home next month is about to change your assessable assets. That responsibility falls on you. And look, honestly, it shouldn't. But that's the system we've got. So the least we can do is make sure the people we care about aren't the ones missing out. If someone in your life has just turned 67, or is getting close, or has been on the pension for years without anyone ever explaining any of this, send them this video today, not sometime. A 5-minute chat now could mean an extra few $100s a fortnight for the rest of their life. And I'm not exaggerating. That's just how the work bonus and the assets test actually work. If this helped you understand even one rule you didn't know before, hit subscribe and turn the bell on because I cover updates like this every time the rates and thresholds change. And they do, several times a year, quietly, with no press release in sight. Drop a comment if you've got a specific situation going on. Working part-time, thinking about downsizing, a partner who hasn't hit pension age yet, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction or turn it into a future video. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.